Howdy, folks. I'm Unicron John,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit.
Meow.
If you're a cat, I'm a Unicron.
What's a unicron?
A Unicron? It's something with like a pointy face.
A pointy
A
face?
pointy face. It's got like one pointy face. That's what it is.
Okay then.
So, the more you know.
Bling.
We'll edit that star thing in. So, our first story is titled, "Am I a jerk for choosing to work at home when my Zoom meeting annoys my husband? My employer has given the employees the choice of working from home or going into the office. Personally, I feel like it is safer to stay at home given what is still going on, and it's about half and half of my coworkers who have decided to stay home or go to the office. The problem and conflict is that I often have 2 or 3 one-hour Zoom meetings a day. I use headphones, but I do talk during part of them. I close the door, but the noise bothers my husband, who is in the other room. He also is at home all day since he's unemployed. He keeps telling me that I'm shellfish to stay at home and bother him when I could choose to work in the office, and he says I'm just too lazy to go into the office and waves off my health concerns as paranoia." Husband of the year, folks.
Yeah.
We gotta get an award printed out ASAP. Please, if you have submissions for awards to this man, submit them in the comments below. I need a write-up quick. I do feel guilty because he gets really upset by the noise and says it's hard for him to focus on stuff while he's reading and he hears me talking. Am I wrong? Should I go in the office a few days a week? I'm getting a lot of comments that I should tell my husband to look for a job, but he told me he doesn't want to until COVID is over, which is a bit weird since he says I'm paranoid about it. Overall, it makes me feel guilty a lot, which is why I came here. Lately, he's been getting upset that our place isn't clean enough. Then do something about it, OP's husband.
Yeah.
Our place isn't clean enough. I know I'm sitting around reading all day, but, well, okay. Here's my solution. I know I'll read the rest of the sentence in a second. OP's husband. OP husband, listen. While she's in her meetings and you can't concentrate on reading, maybe clean up the place.
That's a good idea.
Just a thought. Consideration, maybe. We don't sleep in the same room, but he comes in to inspect my room every day. And today he was upset about the noise again. Oh my goodness. Kick him out of the house during the daytime and tell him to go take a walk in the park. I don't know. I can certainly understand, like, feeling paranoid about going out and working and, being exposed to, COVID.
Right. I mean,
for sure.
I did not accept an in-person teaching position partly because I didn't want to be around a bunch of college students.
Yeah.
Every day, hundreds of them, because and it's just it's just not safe. So I get that, but then him being like, "Oh well, you need to go into the office. You're being paranoid," makes me think that it's not so much that he's afraid of COVID as it is he doesn't want to work.
I think this really reads to me as though he just doesn't actually want to work and that he is even maybe feeling slightly guilty that OP is there all day and making him realize that he's not working. But really, he doesn't have any grounds to complain in this situation. Like, buy him a little tiny booth that he can sit in that's soundproofed so he can read.
And we have this situation because you work from home and you have a lot of meetings, and and I'm at home too. But I either, if it's too distracting, I go in another room or I do something that doesn't require. I mean, I can read while you're in meetings. I can't write while you're in meetings, which is the hard part. But so there are workarounds. Even if we all live in a tiny little apartment, but I still can if I shut the door and go down the hall. I can reasonably not hear him enough that I can focus on my work. So, There has to be some kind of solution, or he could wear headphones while he's reading.
Yeah,
And have some
get him
background
some
noise,
noise canceling headphones and a fan.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Easy peasy, pumpkin squeezy.
Our next story is, am I the jerk for refusing to get the nail polish taken off my nails? So I had a nice weekend with friends, and over the weekend I had my nails painted black, and I actually kind of like it. I'm a guy, by the way, just feel like I have to clarify. And I come back once the weekend's over, and I go see the girl I'm talking to, and she gets seriously mad and tells me to take the nail polish off, and I say, I don't want to. She keeps telling me, yes, I do. When I say I like it, she says, I don't. It gets to the point where she tries to forcibly take it off, and when I don't let her, she says, I guess you're leaving then, so I just leave. Like, am I crazy or something, or did I do something genuinely wrong?
He wasn't wearing nail polish. He was wearing male polish.
Is that like the new, like...
the manly version.
Yeah, the gendered version of nail polish.
You kids, are you tired of having plain old fingers? Get yourself some nail polish today. You can have radical colors like lightning yellow, fire red, and even dirt brown. Get your nail polish today. Go play some football. Football. Football.
So I'm going to say OP is not the jerk here. If he likes wearing nail polish, he's fully allowed to do that. And if this girl doesn't understand that and doesn't like that, she doesn't have to hang out with him.
Yeah, that's an easy solution.
All right, I'm taking my ears off because they hurt my head.
Amber wants me to remove her ears.
Not that. No, these ears.
All right. Our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk Because I Decided to Stop Cooking and Cleaning to Teach my huz a Lesson in Appreciation? My huz. That's what we're calling all husbands from now on. Huzzes.
Hey, huz, what's up?
Thanks, everyone, for all the comments. I greatly appreciate it. I do a majority of the housework, and I'm okay with this. I genuinely don't mind it. My issue is not with wanting more help from him. It was just because I felt like he didn't appreciate it. I'm a nurse who's been working shifts that are longer than usual. No biggie. So when I get home, there was a lot of dishes in the sink since I've just wanted a shower and sleep and when I got home in the past few days. And my husband says, I'm not sure if you've been waiting for those dishes to do themselves, but spoiler alert, they're not going to. Oh, you got a husband with wit. Such wit. Too bad it comes with a shorter lifespan. I told him, no, they aren't, so you better get on them. Go you. He laughed and we moved on. Went to shower, came back, and did the dishes. He then says something that he needs to talk to me about, and he looked really serious. I thought he was going to ask for a divorce or something, but he said something along the lines of, honey, I know you've been working a lot late this past week, and I understand you've got a lot on your plate at work, but I've had to eat cup of noodles and Hot Pockets for these last few nights. So he basically told me that I had been slacking and he was paying the price for it. Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
You poor thing. I told him that he was perfectly capable of finding something else himself, and we argued a bit and then made up. But I decided to stop doing chores or anything, and the house became a mess. And he's whining about the TV dinners he's been eating. And since I haven't been grocery shopping, we're getting low on those too. He finally broke and apologized for not being more appreciative, since he changed his tune. But he told me that I was acting like the B word for those few weeks. I feel like it was the only way to get him to be more appreciative, though. It lasted a few weeks, not months, so that was a typo. We both work full time. And he's been helping out more lately. Oh, good for him. Glad he's helping out more. Small recompense for a life of taking someone for granted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say OP's definitely not the jerk here. I mean, she's working as a nurse during the pandemic. She's already doing more chores than him because she wants to. But, like, for him to be like, I've had to eat cup of noodles. Like, this is such a hardship on me. You are neglecting me. Like, dude, eat your cup of noodles or learn how to cook something else.
Yeah, I mean, there's always the option of learning how to cook something for your wife who might come home late and maybe make her a nice meal. That's my advice. Learn to cook. Cook your wife something nice and don't leave the chores for her when she's been working a late shift. That's what I would do. Just ask Amber. She'll tell you the same.
Yes. Well, he works long hours and, well, regular 9 to 5 type hours, but then still makes me dinner. Our next story is, am I the jerk for not letting my 16-year-old daughter trick or treat? My daughter turned 16 years old this August. Over a week ago, we were driving home from the grocery store and we passed a Party City. It's a costume store if you don't have one where you are. She asked me if I could stop so she could pick up something for her Halloween costume. I playfully asked where she was going to be wearing the costume to, and she said, trick-or-treating? Like it was obvious. She didn't go the previous year because of the pandemic, and we had a discussion about her age 2 years ago that ultimately ended with her going anyway, but I figured it'd be the last time. It honestly shocked me that she was a 16-year-old and pretty mature for her age, at that, a gifted student, etc., and still immature enough to think she was going to walk around in a costume with a bunch of small children. I told her no, she was mad, but I figured it would pass. However, it's been over a week and she is still angry with me. She says lots of people her age still go, that she was even invited to go with a group of same-age friends, but I showed her the statistic that most people think that you shouldn't trick-or-treat past 12 or so unless you have a mental disability. She says it's her favorite holiday and I ruin it for her, etc. Am I in the wrong here? I never trick-or-treated myself, and all my friends who did say they stopped at around 14 at the most. Edit 2. Hey, I've come to the conclusion that she will be trick-or-treating this year. I appreciate you all giving me a new perspective on this. She explained that she already knew she was pretty old to go trick-or-treating, and already had it in her head that it would be her last time going. She even said she wants to go as something with a mask, a plague doctor specifically, so people can't recognize how old she is. And that's why she was extra hurt when I said no, because she knew it was her last shot. I don't want to make her grow up too fast just to save her from a few neighbors denying her candy. Thank you. Have a happy Halloween, no matter your age.
This actually has a nice resolution.
Yeah, and I mean, as someone who hands out Halloween candy, I don't care how old the people are who show up at our door.
I do. If they look a day over 8, no candy for them.
Yeah, no, that's not how we do it. Like, anyone who comes to the door, they get candy. And so, you know,
yeah, we've actually had some older kids come by and we're like, have handfuls of candies.
Yeah, because we don't get a ton of trick-or-treaters in our area, so we're just happy to unload it on whoever comes by. We're going to be making like full bags of candy to hand out to people. Like, just take all our candy, get rid of it so Brian doesn't sit and eat it all.
I'll eat like a few pieces a day.
Yeah. And so, but I think you're only, trick-or-treating. It's such a fun, magical time for kids, and it's really a shame that we force kids out of it too soon.
Yeah, well, and the thing is this, she's going with a group of her friends.
Yeah.
And they're all going together, and she's even, so it's going to be a time for them to get together and have fun and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I would rather have a 16-year-old going around trick-or-treating than, potentially in a unmonitored party of her peers where there might be some stuff going on that might not necessarily be the best.
Right, exactly. Like, you have a 16-year-old who wants to go trick-or-treating, like, okay, well, she's not going to a party where, underage activities are going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that that's what the mom's concern was. And, like, I also don't like the idea that because she is intellectually gifted, she should have to outgrow things faster. Like,
yeah, I
was an academically talented kid, and I still like I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. I go all out for it, and I kind of was a little lost for a while, though, when I stopped trick-or-treating, because, like, I didn't do the party scene, and so, like, what do you do? And we've had to kind of come up with our own Halloween norm and traditions, so.
Our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Rewarding My Daughter for All A's on Her Exam? My younger daughter, 12, has ADHD, inattentive type. She isn't the bouncing off the wall stereotype, rather, most of her struggles go on in her head. She finds it extremely difficult to focus on schoolwork, zones out frequently, etc. Recently, she had an exam and managed to score an A for every subject. This was the first time she achieved this, so my husband and I were very proud and brought her out for dinner, got her a bicycle, and that was something that she's wanted for a while. My older daughter, 15, was upset about our favoritism because she always gets straight A's and has never been showered with praise like we did to her sister. I tried to explain to her that her sister faced difficulties that she never had to deal with, and I asked her to be more understanding. Plus, I also reminded her that we always brought her out for a nice and expensive dinner whenever she came back with good results. We got in a bit of an argument and she kept bringing up the bike, even though I repeatedly stated that it was a perfectly reasonable reward. Things have been tense between us. My husband agrees with me, but my mother tells me that I'm playing favorites, which I really don't think I was or am. It's also worth mentioning that the only difference in the way that I treat my daughters is that I'm actually more strict with my youngest because she needs more prompting to start and finish tasks. Am I the jerk? Edit, thank you for the comments. Just to clear things up, yes, my oldest has a bike. Yes, we did get her something for the first time that she got all A's. I feel that both of them struggle with different areas, and that the proper fair reward would be to give my oldest an extra present if she reaches a milestone in an area that she struggles in as much as her sister. However, I also see that my oldest may have felt achievements were undervalued and that she might have internal struggles that I'm not properly dealing with as a parent. I will sit down and discuss things with her. So, what do you think of this one?
This one's a really tricky one, and I don't know, that OP is being a jerk here, but I also don't know. It's really hard because I was the kid who did really well in school and didn't feel appreciated for it. So if OP, it was so frustrating because, I had one parent who was basically like, oh, well, as long as you're not doing drugs, I don't care what you do in school. And I had another parent who, if I was like, oh, I got, good grades, I made honor roll, I got all A's or something, you'd be like, oh, well, why aren't you doing the dishes? So, there was no winning. So if OP kind of, glosses over her older daughter's achievements because they're consistent, that I definitely could see as an issue. But I don't think that it's wrong to try to give the children rewards based on their abilities because not everyone has the same abilities. And I
think that's fair, yeah.
I was just going to say, not everyone even can achieve all A's all the time. So, if you know someone, it wouldn't be fair to have this one bar that your one kid is always hitting and that your other one just can't hit. If it was oh, well, I'm going to make soccer, you have to, make varsity soccer to get this reward. And you have one kid who's super athletic and you have another kid who isn't, that would be a really weird thing. Standard hold. And I feel like the grades is kind of the same thing. If you have one kid who's really intellectually gifted, yes, they deserve praise for that. But you can't also have that one standard and expect your other kid to meet it.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. And if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
And we'll see. Oh, and thanks to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, not Saturday.